Where do you want me to start?
Wherever.
So we'll start here, the anterior scapula. Here's subscapularis.
Okay.
If we flip it over, we can see the other rotator cuff muscles. If we take off deltoid. So above this, whoops,
It's okay.
my video. Above the spine is supraspinatus. Below the spine is infraspinatus.
Okay.
And here we have teres minor, the last rotator cuff muscle. All these ones run over and insert onto the greater tubercle. Here. Just inferior to teres minor is teres major here, the big one. It's a synergist to latissimus dorsi. If we continue down the posterior side of the arm, here we have a large tricep muscle, and you can see two of its heads easily. One of the heads that goes all the way up to the scapula is the long head. Here we have on the lateral side of the humerus, the lateral head. The other head, you only can see a portion of it. Here is the medial head here. All of these converge together and insert onto the olecranon process, posterior aspect of the elbow. Okay, on the anterior arm, we have biceps brachii. Deep to it, we have brachialis. And we also have the small muscle that starts on the coracoid process, coracobrachialis. Alright, so in the forearm, we put our hand on here. These all start on the medial epicondyle. The one that runs from the medial epicondyle over to the radius would be pronator teres. The one that runs along the radius would be flexor carpi radialis. The next one in the middle, if we follow this muscle all the way down, it goes superior to the retinaculum. This one's palmaris longus. And then the last one that runs over top of the ulna is flexor carpi ulnaris. That's a superficial group. The intermediate group, you can see the one muscle a little bit here, and also if we take it off, just below. Here we have superficialis. Here's also the origin of superficialis. In the deep group, there's two muscles. Flexor pollicis longus goes towards the thumb, down here. And another one that lies just deep to superficialis, flexor digitorum profundus. So that's the anterior forearm muscles. On the posterior side, there's only two groups. There's a superficial group that starts on the lateral epicondyle, and then there's the deep outcropping muscles that kind of crop out from underneath and go towards either the thumb or the index finger. So the first one is called brachioradialis. This muscle lies in between the anterior compartment and the posterior compartment. And it's one of the ones that starts up here on the supraepicondylar ridge. Okay, so it starts more superior than the lateral epicondyle. So here we have brachioradialis. The next one beside it that also starts on the supraepicondylar ridge is extensor carpi radialis longus. Lies over top of the radius. The one that's a bit shorter is extensor carpi radialis brevis. It starts on the lateral epicondyle. And the rest of them also do. So we follow this muscle here. As it enters into the hand, it splits into 4 different tendons and forms the extensor expansions. This muscle here is extensor digitorum, the main wrist extensor. The next one is a little tiny muscle that if we follow it over to the baby finger, it goes to the 5th finger here. This is extensor digiti minimi. One last extensor in the superficial group, which is extensor carpi ulnaris. This one here. Extensor carpi ulnaris. So there's one extensor carpi ulnaris. There's 2 extensor carpi radialis. There's a longus and a brevis. So if we take off these muscles, we can see the deep compartment. One muscle in the deep compartment doesn't cross the posterior wrist, and that's the supinator. The next 3 work on our thumb. We have abductor pollicis longus, goes all the way down here. It's going to help to abduct the thumb. We have extensor pollicis brevis. It's going to help extend the thumb. These 2 muscles form the anterior aspect of the anatomical snuff box. The next one here, you can only really see the tendon. This is extensor pollicis longus. This one forms the posterior part of the snuff box. And if you extend your thumb, you can see it running down the middle aspect all the way down to the distal phalanx. The last muscle you can't see on here, and that's extensor indicus. That's all of them.
All right, thank you.